What's good, guys? Today I'm bringing you another Pokemon X and Pokemon Y Wi-Fi battle. And it's been a hell of a long time since I said that because I did stop battling until Pokebank came out. And it's out now in Europe, so I have it. And I get to use the power. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I have a battle today against Passerby Veni. And this is one of the rare occasions where a Passerby is actually decent. Usually, I'll just tell you, the last time I battled a Passerby, or after I battled this Passerby, I battled someone who brought, like, Arceus and everything like that. So, this guy actually brought a good team. It was nice and standard, which is great. So, it's cool to see stuff like that. And yeah, it was actually a pretty decent battle all around. So, let's just get into this thing. So, Benny's gonna be leading off with his Gliscor, as I can lead off with my Tyranitar. Well, I almost got messed up. I did screw up for a second there, but I'm gonna go for U-turn, as he is gonna stay in and go for knockoff, which is a good play. It's sort of weird to see Gliscor with knockoff. Usually you see the standard toxic sub protect, but this guy's actually a taunt Gliscor. He's more offensive, which is actually pretty good to see. So I'm gonna go for knockoff. I did expect the toxic, so I went out into my Clefable because I do have Magic Guard, so I knew I could take the toxic and not have to worry about getting poisoned every turn because of Magic Guard. So he's going to switch out and go out into his Tyranitar as I just make the safe play. It's the second turn. No reason to overpredict, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam. And it's not going to do too much because this is Tyranitar. If I had my Life Orb, I would have done a bit more. Because Life Orb Clefable is actually pretty strong. I don't take any damage from the Life Orb either. So, yeah. Magic Guard Clefable, it's decent. So I'm going to switch out into my Donphan here, as he's going to take the opportunity to set up for the Stealth Rocks. I could have went for the Dazzling Gleams. I don't have Moonblast, because it's actually a transfer to Clefable, so yeah, it doesn't have Moonblast, because that learns it by level up. So if you want to get Moonblast on a Clefable that you're transferring over, you better just transfer over a Clefairy and hope that you have a Moonstone or something. So gonna go for a Rapid Spin as he sets up his Stealth Rocks, and then he goes for the Ice Beam, which catches me off guard, because I mean, I know it is sort of standard. Usually it's between Fire Blast and Ice Beam, but this guy actually has the Ice Beam. So he gets off a hell of a lot of damage on my Donphan, and is able to go for the Crunch, and now set up his, go for Pursuit, as I try to switch out, as he now sets up his Stealth Rock, while I go for the Knockoff, predicting him to switch out into something else, but hey, I get off damage on his Tyranitar, and I am able to knock off his Chople Berry, which would weaken down the power of my Fighting-type moves. So now he's definitely at the range where a Drain Punch is going to be able to knock him out. However, I'm not going to do that. I am going to predict him to switch out. As he goes out to his Gliscor, I am going to go for the knockoff again, and I'm going to get a hell of a lot of damage off on this thing, which is great. Knock off its Toxic Orb, which doesn't even matter though because it's already poisoned, so the Poison Heal is already in effect. He's going to go for a U-turn, which I did not expect, and I do go for the safe play in this scenario, which is going for the Ice Punch, as he goes right back out into his Tyranitar. So, not a bad exchange, I guess, but yeah, I'd rather he didn't go to Tyranitar, but he does, so that's fine. As I go for the Ice Punch, and I get off a little bit of damage on the thing. And here I overpredict, and I go for a... Do I go for knockoff or do I go for Ice Punch? I know I don't Drain Punch. I don't Drain Punch this Tyranitar at all, which I probably should, but go for the Ice Punch, just expecting him to go out into his Gliscor again, thinking that he could like catch me off guard if I go for Drain Punch and not get any damage off on Gliscor, but just gonna knock it down to the range where Mach Punch is gonna knock it out again. It would have been better if I just Drain Punched, but I wasn't sure if he's gonna go to Gliscor or not. So going for the Ice Punch was just safe, because it does neutral damage and it's pretty strong. So I mean, yeah, just definitely a safer play in my opinion. Goes out to his Diggersby, and I was thinking for a moment, should I stay in, should I switch out? I expected him to U-turn, so I stay in, which turns out to be my better play, as I am going to be able to go for the Ice Punch on whatever he switches in. And unfortunately for my opponent, he does switch out into a Scizor. And the reason it's unfortunate is because I am going to be able to hit it with an Ice Punch. And I am going to be that lucky guy that scores the freeze on the Ice Punch. So an unfortunate bit of hacks on my part. It's actually the second time I froze something with this Conkeldurr. I did the battle against my friend Santi, and I froze his Tornadus Therian with a Ice Punch as well. So that sucks for those guys, but hey, it happens. As he now goes to his Goodra, I'm going to go for a Drain Punch. I have no reason not to. And I'm going to get off a hell of a lot of damage, get at least half off, which is great. His Gooey is going to kick in though, and it is going to slow me down by one stage. But I think I'm naturally slower than him anyway, because Goodra has like base 80, I think, base 70. Decent speed, I guess it's much faster than my Conkeldurr for sure. Goes for the Ice Beam. I do pack the Assault Vest, and I am going to be able to knock this thing out with a knockoff. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't, but unfortunately I do. I should have went for the Drain Punch. I had no reason to knock off, I guess, but just in case he wanted to switch into something else, like his Diggersby or something. Actually, no, Diggersby wouldn't be good switching. I don't know what he could switch into then. I think I might have been expecting just the... I don't know what I just went for a knockoff. So he goes to his Diggersby. As I go to my Donphan, pretty much just Death Fodder, because it's at low HP, it's not at the range where it can take a hit, and he is going to be able to knock me out with a return. So that sucks. I do lose my Donphan pretty early, but I'm going to go eat, not early, really, it's turn 14, but yeah, lose my Donphan. It was pretty much Death Fodder because it was weakened down by that Ice Beam and the Pursuit combo by the Tyranitar. Goes out into, well, I got into my Darmanitan as he doubles, or not doubles, goes out to his Gliscor as I go for the U-turn, and get myself some momentum, and I am able to go out into my Nidoking, so get to show off my shiny Nidoking, and shiny Nidoking's cool. It's like a Nidoqueen. It's like just a darker Nidoqueen kind of, but I love Nidoking a lot. It's really a good Pokemon. So he gets his Poison Heal and stuff. I believe he just straight up switches out into his Empoleon here, as I go for the Fire Blast, predicting him to want to go to Scizor, or no, he goes to Scizor actually. Yeah, this is what I predict. I predicted this thing go for Fire Blast. And unfortunately I missed. I would have taken that out and would have been cool and whatever, but he switches out now into his Empoleon. I figured the best thing I could do was go for Fire Blast in that scenario because Gliscor wouldn't have taken it too well, Diggersby wouldn't have, and Scizor definitely wouldn't have. This thing doesn't take it that well either. So I am able to knock it out with an Earth Power on the next turn and get a nice 2-hit KO on the Empoleon. Critical hit did not matter. I believe I'm Sheer Force Life Orb, so, well, I am Sheer Force. I don't know if I had Life Orb at this battle though, but yeah, I knock it out as it goes out to his Diggersby. And I know this thing is Scarf just by the way he brings it in. I know I can't take a return, so I have to sack something, and I go to my Conkeldurr. But he goes for the U-turn, which is actually a bad play on his part. He should have just went for a return because I had nothing that wanted to take it. So definitely going for a return was his better play. But hey, it's his choice, I guess. Actually, I don't have Life Orb, did I? I had that on Clefable. I think I only have one Life Orb. I don't know what I had in Nidoking then, but yeah, that was a few minutes ago. I don't know what I'm talking about it now. But goes out to his Scizor, tries to Bullet Punch as I go for the Drain Punch. And I'm going to get off a decent amount of damage to KO it, which is good. As he is unfortunately for me this time, he is going to thaw out. And he's going to Bullet Punch, and it is going to KO my Conkeldurr, who did a hell of a lot of work, though, in this battle. So, I mean, that's good. I'm going to go out into my Darmanitan. I'm Choice Scarf. I know I can scare any of this Pokemon with the Flare Blitz right now. So, he's going to go for a Bullet Punch. I knew I could live just with a little bit of HP, enough that I can Flare Blitz him at least. And yeah, that is going to be able to knock out the Scizor because this is a Darmanitan, and it is a 4-time super effective Fire-type move. But knock out a Scizor, which is great, and lose my Darmanitan to Recoil. Would have been great to have it for his last two Pokemon, but I did Scizor's Bullet Punch too much, and I should have let his Stealth Rock stay in the field here, but whatever. Got into my Latios as he goes out into his Gliscor. I'm going to go for the Draco Meteor, and usually this thing has Life Orb as well, but because I didn't put it on it for this battle, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to knock out the Gliscor. It survives at 1%. As he goes for Talon, probably expecting me to be CM, which makes sense, like Calm Mind, but yeah, just go for a Draco Meteor. And I'm going to be able to knock him out with the following Draco Meteor, because I didn't see any reason to go for Psyshock when I may not have taken it out. So Draco Meteor, he's going to be able to knock out the Gliscor. Got a needless critical hit, especially because, like, even at -2 I was going to be taking that out, so it didn't even matter. As his last Pokemon is his Diggersby, and he's going to go for the return, which, as you're going to see, does not knock out my Latios. I have the Citrus Berry on this thing, just because I don't have a lot of items, so I had to, like, just throw stuff together. But gonna go for a Draco Meteor. It's gonna do absolutely nothing. I am at -4. Make that -6 now after this, so I'm at the lowest point I could be with my special attack after this Draco Meteor. And he is just gonna be able to knock me out the following returns, so that's cool. I do have a Clefable that I know can take a hit, because judging by the fact that my not bulky Latios took a hit, I'm pretty sure my bulky Clefable can, so live that with 32 HP, go for an Ice Beam, and I'm going to be able to knock out the Diggersby, and that's going to wrap up a pretty decent game. Score does not reflect the quality of the battle. That was a good battle with Veni. So, yeah, first time in a while since I've uploaded one of these. Felt sort of weird to do it, but hey, feels good as well. Just like to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed this Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle, and I will see you guys next time. So, see you guys then.